Mayor Williams Jr.,
Present.
Alderman Carolyn Wands,
Present.
James Pashard,
Present.
Heidi Patel,
Here.
Bob Iverson,
Present.
Brenda Brown,
Present.
Mike O'Kane,
Here.
Mike Poor,
Here.
Rick Streebing, Sherry Pickering,
Here.
Eve Ludwig,
Here.
Trisha Teague,
Present.
Aaron Trolia. Present. Yes. Okay.
Present.
Robert Williams, Darren York,
Present.
12 present.
12 present. We do have a quorum. At this time, we will have the invocation led by Alderman Brenda Brown, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by myself.
Let us bow our heads. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this another wonderful day. We thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon the city of Danville and throughout this country and throughout this world. We thank you for each one present tonight. We ask your blessings on each one. Bless their homes, their family. We ask you to bless the staff and all that have to work hard and diligently to continue the work of this community of Danville. And Father in heaven, now we ask, oh God, to watch over the Williams family, strengthen them and comfort them in this their hour of bereavement, and that they know that you are our God, and we'll look to the hills from which cometh our strength. They will find the comfort and strength needed. This and all other blessings we will ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Alderman Brown. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the June. Actually, there are no minutes this evening. Clerk Monson is on vacation, and so we will have the minutes for the previous meeting at the next meeting. You do have an agenda before you. I would like to remove item 13A from the agenda. Remove item 13A. Yesterday was to be my day to finish research for the pools, as you all had asked me to do comparisons. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that because I was with my family. And so I will have that for you next time. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Patel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Trolia,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. For my report, we do not have any proclamations this evening. We do not have any board, committee, or personnel appointments. Are there any reports of boards, agencies, or commissions this evening? Any reports of boards, agencies, or missions? Seeing none, items of information. I just wanted to be sure to pass along. Chief McMaster's asked me to share that the Turtle Run has submitted for a fireworks permit, so they will be doing fireworks on July 3rd at 9:30 p.m. from Turtle Run, so pretty excited for that. I also wanted to take a moment to thank each of you who have reached out with your condolences and regards for my uncle. He was my uncle, so I'm partial, but I think you all know I'm also a fair person, and my uncle was one of the best people I knew. He literally gave his all for the community. He coached for over 40 years, and he treated everyone with dignity and respect and went out of his way to show love and as much as coaching teach character. So we will greatly miss my Uncle Eli. I know that a number of you had asked. This morning, my aunt and my cousins finalized the services, and there will be a visitation at Sunset Funeral Home on North Vermilion Street Friday from 4 to 7:30. That's Friday from 4 to 7:30. And then the funeral will be also at Sunset on Saturday at 1 p.m. That's Saturday at 1 p.m. So again, I just want to say thank you. If any of you knew my Uncle Eli, you knew he was a real class act. They're actually doing a special on him on Channel 3 as we speak. So I'm hoping that they will have that, that somebody will have DVR'd that so that I can see it later. But Madam Clerk, do we have any petitions, communications, or audience comments this evening?
We did receive one audience comment, public comment, so I got before you just the one.
Thank you. I will read that for you now. Dear Mayor Williams and City Council members, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Gaurang Patel, local business owner of Stroud Liquors. Over the past couple of months, my staff and I have been actively working on renovating our store to now offer video gaming to our customers. Our site has been inspected and approved by the Danville building inspector, Stephen. I was recently informed that the city ordinance has a limited number of gaming licenses and that number has met its capacity, therefore putting my local video gaming license on a waiting list. I want to express my concern as we spent a lot of money to redesign the store to offer video gaming. I've been officially licensed by the state last week and approved by Stephen. So is there anything we can do to amend the ordinance to allow my local gaming license to be in active status? If the building inspector approved my location for video gaming, why will I have to be on a waiting list to receive my local video gaming license? Had I known there would be a waiting list, I wouldn't have spent so much time and money on building out this gaming room. Any insight is greatly appreciated. I respectfully request that the city of Danville grants me a local video gaming license. Looking forward to hearing more from you, Mayor Williams. Please reply. What I will tell you is that every individual who reaches out to us requesting a gaming license is provided the same information. They're told, number one, that we have a limited number of gaming licenses available. Number two, how many licenses we currently have issued. And number three, the steps that they will need to take in order to receive a license. They are also informed that once we reach the maximum list of 30 licenses, that they will be placed on a waiting list. So Mr. Patel was informed of this. I'm unsure now why he's indicating that he was not, because all of them have been notified that was the case, that once we reach the 30 limit, that they would be placed on a waiting list. And then any license that came available would be issued to those who were eligible at that time in the order that they were received. Any comments or questions before I move on? Yes, Vice Mayor Iverson.
Yes, Your Honor, I just wondered, how many people do we have on the waiting list now? Do you have any idea?
Our assistant city clerk, Megan, provided that for me, and we actually only have one at this time.
One besides him or just him?
One besides him. He has not actually requested to be placed on the list yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Alderman Trolio.
How long ago did we change that to 30?
Let's see.
Because I think it's been like at least a year. I mean, he couldn't have started this process before we changed it, I don't think.
At least.
No, he started it after we changed it with certainty. I'm trying to see, normally our clerk.
That's fine. That's fine, Ricky. If it's been, I think it's been quite a while. I was just making sure he hadn't started it.
It was passed on March 3rd of 2020.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments or questions?
Well, Mayor, who sets that limit? Is that a state limit or a city limit?
It's a city limit, Alderman Pritchard. I think we had multiple lengthy discussions, and there was a lot of concern that we were starting to get too many of these video gaming parlors in our community, that it was going to look kind of like it's a wonderful life. The town when he hadn't been born, and then there was a gambling parlor on every corner. I think people were a little bit concerned that we would get to that point. So it's set by the city council. We could change that at any time if we wish to. I personally believe that we have more than enough of them already, and they're pretty well dispersed throughout the city. But we can certainly change that at any time if it were the council's desire to do so.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other, Alderman O'Kane?
Is it that also linked into a particular type of liquor license that you have to have?
It's not a particular class, but the state requires that you have a license to pour alcohol in order to have a gaming license.
Does he have a license such as that? Is that something else he'll have to get?
To pour, does he
I
have?
think he already has his pouring license.
We believe he does have his pouring license, so you have to have that. In order to be considered eligible, you have to, number one, have your state license. Number two, you have to have your state liquor license and local liquor license. And number three, you have to have a building that's been approved for the use of gaming in order to be eligible to receive a license to game in the city of Danville.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Alderman Pickering.
No, I understand his predicament and I do feel sorry for him, but if we would do this, we would be setting a precedent that I don't think we want to do.
Thank you. It would technically be illegal for us to issue a permit just to this gentleman. We would need to amend our ordinance to increase the number of licenses. So your point is well taken. Thank you. Chairman Ford.
Yes, Mayor, are there any places that are going to give up their license? I mean, the market's so saturated right now. I thought it was saturated when we had 10. Now we're 30.
Chairman, I concur with you about the saturation rate. I do not have any knowledge of anyone who intends to give up their license at this time. They're a hot commodity such that we have probably, I would say, at least 3 or 4 other places. And the assistant city clerks agreeing that are in a similar situation to Mr. Patel, where they've done all the work, they've made application, and they're waiting.
Okay, the gas station up by Sunset.
Yes.
I see they have a gaming license.
Yes, they were approved. The state just approved them, Chairman, I believe, within their last 2 meetings, I want to say.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Alderman Teague.
Just for educational purposes, how did we come to the number 30? You guys mentioned saturation, and I was just wondering, is there a common number based on, miles or, population or whatever? Just wondering how we got to the number of 30.
I can tell you, I was an alderman at when we first started discussing this, and then we finally, when I was a mayor, we finalized it. I think we had, I want to say 23 or 24 licenses at that time. Alderman Teague, previously we had been told by the former corporation counsel, not Mr. Mockbee, but Mr. Westner, that they had to make more revenue in other items than they did gaming in order to have a gaming license. That was inaccurate. The state law says if they have a pour license, that they are eligible to have gaming, but they of course have to meet all of our other requirements, building code, separate areas, that kind of thing. And so that opened up the Pandora's box of just us starting to get tons of applications. So because we wanted to not have an excessive amount in our city and have them essentially on every corner, I think we had 23 or 24 at the time. We decided that we wanted to make sure that there was room for a few more people to apply if they so wished, but that we wanted to cap it, and we came up with the number 30. I wish that there was some kind of magical formula. I could tell you that we said, oh, we would get one establishment for every 1,000 people, but that wasn't the case. It was just, we had a lot already. We wanted to make sure that we didn't have them everywhere, so we limited the number to 30. Alderman T, did you have any other questions?
No, that was it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Chairman Thor.
Yes, Mayor, and I helped rewrite the gaming law because there were fraternal organizations being, not per se discriminated against, but the state, when they first wrote the law, did not understand that places like the Knights of Columbus had a Columbus Club, places like the Grotto had Denmark Park. So we were able to include those. I mean, the original law, it limited the types of businesses. I mean, gas stations were only going to be truck stops. I mean, and bars could have them, fraternal organizations could have them, things like that. I mean, there was only 4 categories, and it seems like they're popping up all over now. So, yeah, I don't want to. If we go above 30, we're going to be taking away from the businesses that are relying on that revenue for income. And, as someone said, you cannot rely totally on video gaming for your income. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Chairman. Alderman Trillia.
Do we have one set back for the casino?
They have their own separate license, so they aren't in need of this.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Alderman Ludwig.
Just wondering if there's a minimum distance requirement between businesses who receive the permit for the gaming license?
No, Alderman, there is not.
Okay.
Well, there actually is. It's 100 feet from a school, a church, things like that. And I think we had the discussion that when the previous mayor wanted to put a 1,000 foot distance in our ordinance, there was a lot of establishments, some which have closed now, that would not have been able to get a license.
Yes, Chairman, you're absolutely correct, but let me clarify if I may. Alderman Ludwig, you were asking if there was a limit on the amount of distance between establishments that have a license to game.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. No, there is not.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any further comments? All right, thank you very much. We do not have any zoning petitions this evening. However, you do have before you the payrolls for June 4th and June 11th of 2021. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
To approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate on the payrolls? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Pashard,
Yes.
Pertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streeting, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Trillia,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Hans.
Yes.
Yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. At this time, you also have before you the vouchers payable of June 8th and June 15th, 2021. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Alderman T.
I just have a couple questions. On page 8 of our packet, which is page 4 for payables for June 8th. The payment to Farnsworth Group, was that for the pool study or was that for something else? City facility study consolidation study is what it
No,
says.
that was for a study of looking at whether or not we could have the space to move City Hall and Public Works all into one building at Public Works.
Okay.
Because Alderman T, for historical context, Ameren has been leasing out a portion of the Public Works building. They are moving to a new facility in Tilton within the next year. So that means that there's going to be a lot of space available in that building. It will also still have to be, weatherized and heated and maintained because it won't be occupied. So that was a part of a study to determine whether or not we should consider consolidating into one building.
Okay.
Thank you. Director Carpenter, did you?
No, that's what I was going to tell her as well.
All right, thank you so much. Alderman T, did you have, yes, ma'am.
Yes, I had a second question. And then on the same page, the Take a Shot LLC, what was that for?
Take a Shot LLC, that is the company through which Brock Burton manages the Harrison Park Golf Course. And you said it's on that same page 404?
Yes.
Okay, let me get there.
It says reimbursement of credit card processing fees.
Comptroller, can you?
Yep, I can answer that. So out at Harrison Park, there's a POS system that the city has purchased, and the way it was set up is that the city pays the processing fees for that POS system. So Brock collects those fees. He pays the bill, but it's collected through his other fees. So we turn around and reimburse him for paying that invoice. So.
Okay. Thank you. Those are all the questions I have.
Thank you. Any other questions or further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Purtell,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Hoare,
Yes.
Streeting, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, motion carries. Before we move on, I apologize. There was one, I'm a little bit scattered this evening. There was one other item that I did wish to address with you under items of information. I've heard a lot of nasty rumors that we're closing Harrison Park.
Yeah.
That is absolutely golf course. That is absolutely not the truth. Our longtime superintendent, Brock Burton, has received a job as a general manager at the country club. So his last day with us will be June 26th, and we wish him the best. What we have been doing, the Director Carpenter and I, is working to establish a course moving forward where you won't see any difference except for a little bit of difference in faces. There are going to be a few old faces that might be returning to help us out with some things, as well as a few new things, but none of the tournaments are canceled or anything like that. So just want to put to bed any rumor that anyone might have about that, or any false notions that they may have. Yes, Chairman Moore.
And Mayor, I appreciate you getting back to me right away on that. I had several calls, and then you put the statement out on Facebook and different things, which people actually said that was quick. So, I mean, like you say, the rumor mill on Facebook is crazy.
It is. Thank you, Chairman. I try to have fun with people, I mean, like if you can share news in a fun way, I think that helps people remember it more and it sticks in their head. So that's what I try to do. And so thank you for the heads up on that and for all of you that reached out to me to ask questions about that. As soon as we have everything finalized, which should happen in the next few days, then we will put out a list of contact information for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Alderman Brown.
Yes, you went back to items of information, so I'm going to go ahead and ask this question. I know since I've been on the council, there hasn't been any mention of the Danville Tennis Club. I know at one time there was a connection with the city, but there isn't a connection now, is there? Or they still call it the Danville Tennis Club?
No, there is a connection, Alderman Brown.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain that they leased that facility from us.
Okay.
And so, yes, that is an ongoing relationship.
And we pay their electric and stuff, I believe, don't we, Mayor?
I do believe so, Chairman, yes.
Pay what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The utilities.
We pay the utilities?
Yes, ma'am, I believe.
Okay.
I would have to check to verify, but I believe that's correct.
Okay, I knew at one time there was a connection with the city, that there was something we either leased or paid something there, but I wasn't sure. And just happened to be in Lincoln Park the other day. Matter of fact, Sunday evening, I listened to our great municipal band, and they're doing a great job. And I want to bring that up because I wasn't sure. I haven't heard anything on it, but you know, and it's in our reports. But I guess, like I said, I haven't really paid where I need to pay more attention then. So to see exactly what we do with that building. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Brown. All right, at this time, we are in your hands, Chairman, for the Public Works report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. 11A is a resolution approving a 5-year contract for Westlaw electronic legal research data. Need a motion to put that on the table, and then we'll let Corporation Counsel Simon explain it.
Chairman, are you making the motion to dispense with the reading for its approval?
I can't. Oh, excuse me. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
All right.
I make a motion to dispense with the reading, move for its approval.
Yes, sir. All right, it's been moved by Chairman Ford and seconded by Alderman Brown. Mr. Simon, could you just give a brief description of what this is and why we're entering an agreement?
Primarily 2 reasons we are entering the agreement. One, the city's contract with LexisNexis, which is what prior Corporation Counsel used for a few years, has expired, and we need a new agreement to provide electronic access to legal database, including cases, statutes, regulations, secondary sources. Westlaw, in my opinion, I've worked with both databases. Westlaw, in my mind, is the far better product and vendor. They're beginning to use artificial intelligence for helping with research. They are the oldest legal research entity in the country, if not, frankly, the world. They go way, way back, decades, far more than decades, well over a century. And they've organized the law in such a way that makes research easier, especially when you're dealing with cases. And I much prefer Westlaw. They are competitive. The rate they quoted is the same rate, the ending rate that LexisNexis provided us. The owner of Westlaw is Thompson Publishing, which is part of the Reuters publishing company.
Thank you, Mr. Simon. Alderman T.
So I just have one question, and I used to work in this space in another life. So I know that one of the biggest things about Lexis is that they purchase a lot of records for their database from all of the other legal publishers. So my question is West's subscription offering comparable in terms of the comprehensiveness of data available as compared to Lexis? Like, I get that it's the same price and whatnot. I'm just wondering if we have the same, or if we're losing any access to any data that we would have gotten with Lexis, because I know that Lexis is the largest aggregator of legal research.
From my experience, we will not be losing anything by going to Westlaw. Not only will we not be losing, we will be gaining, because Westlaw has century plus experience in organizing the law. You're probably familiar, for example, with the Illinois Digest. That's probably the most comprehensive digest, spanning 50 or more volumes probably by now. They also, were the original publishers of the case books that most lawyers have come to know, and the Keynote system, which I'm sure you're well aware of. Yes, Lexis has come to the party many, many decades after Westlaw. Lexis started back in the early 70s. When I was in law school, Lexis was just coming online. Westlaw had been doing it for a century before that.
Okay, that was my only concern.
Thank you, Alderman T. Any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
Streaming, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
11B is a resolution awarding a contract for bid number 671 for the 2021 overlay. Move to dispense reading and ask for your approval.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
Streaming, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. And Chairman, if it be your pleasure, items C and D are for the same project.
Yeah, that was my, what I was going to recommend is that we take 11C and D together. One is an ordinance approving the acceptance of a permanent easement for storm sewers at 600 Dearborn. And D is awarding the contract for bid 675 construction of Dearborn drainage improvements.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman O'Kane,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
Streaming, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
11E is a resolution amending the contract for the Poland Road Pump Station Upgrade Project, bid number 636, and amending the Storm and Sanitary Sewer Fund number 402 for fiscal year 21-22. Move to read as for your approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Streaming, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
11F is a resolution approving an easement for an electric line relocation, Illinois Power Company doing business as Ameren, Illinois.
Second.
Well, I didn't get to make the move to dispense reading and ask for approval.
I know. Second. Keep it moving.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
Streaming, 12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
I don't know, Carl or Sam or anybody, do you have anything?
I'd just like everybody to know that we did start in earnest on demolitions again this week. One on South Griffin in the 200 block, which is south of Cleveland, is actually completed. We have two more in the unit block of South Griffin that are actually underway right now. Probably within 2 weeks, you will see the old Arnholt Bakery come down. The bank on the corner of Vermilion and Fairchild.
Yeah.
Within 2 to 3 weeks will probably be started on or done as well. So If you're out driving around, you're gonna start noticing a lot more empty lots real soon.
Well, and they've been pouring concrete on Winter Avenue down to Logan, I guess, as part of the bridge project and things.
Yes, that's moving along fairly well. It's also, we've had some road closures, as you know, there. And those have been publicized before those occur. So they haven't put any more of the little walkway bridge in. That piece is there. The actual pipe, some of it's been hung under there already. So that whole project's moving along at a pretty good clip right now due to the good weather we've had as well.
And then the other thing I would have under Ryan's information is I received a call from Rick Brown. There are brand new full-size inspector maps showing you all the areas and who's doing it. I believe we've also hired a new inspector, started a couple days ago, but so if you may want to swing by City Hall, or again, if we're going to be there for the groundbreaking on Thursday to grab a bus, we could get them then. And I'm not sure where we stand on that.
Chairman, I was going to give you an update at the end to make sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Everyone doesn't forget, but.
Okay, Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chairman. I also just want to clarify for the public that the city is not tearing down the Arnholt building or the building behind it. That is private demolition that's been encouraged by the demolitions that we've made just a block and a half away at Vermillion and Fairchild, because they're hoping to redevelop their family property as well. So,
Mayor, one other question. They've started work on the Danville Township building. I know they took the fire escape off. Today, Illinois Powers are dropping or took down all the power lines, things like that. Is that moving along quicker than we thought?
we are just doing our portion of preparing it for in-house demolition. We have to put it out to bid first before we would be able to take it down ourselves. So we're just doing the parts that we can do to try to save the city a little bit of money.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Chairman, before I just have one comment. Again, as I always do, say thank you to our director, Carl Carpenter. Anytime I call, he's so pleasant and so helpful. I just want to say thank you again for just always being there and being such a nice person.
Well, thank you. I've been called a lot of things. I think it's the first time I've ever been called pleasant. So thank you very much.
But I do, and then I know you've been trying to get.
I understand. It's
yeah, I know.
That's what I'm here for. I try my best.
And to the entire department, the demolitions, because there have been quite a few in Ward 1 that have been taken down. That list is dwindling for Ward 1, and just want to say thank you again for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alderman Brown. We appreciate that. I wanted to remind you of, well, actually, never mind. I'll remind you a little bit later when we get there, but great job, everyone. At this time, we will receive.
Excuse me, Mayor. I have my hand up. I just wanted to, that's okay. I just wanted to echo what Alderman Brown said, because for Serve Together, I submitted a project for cleanup around the city. And some of the places that I had identified to clean up, the wonderful people in our public works department had actually already cleaned. So I also wanted to publicly acknowledge you for one, providing the assistance to us for cleanup day in the form of dumpsters, but also for the work that you already did, because it took me a while to try to find some other places to send people to clean because you had already done the work.
Thank you. I'll pass that along to the men and women.
Thank you, everyone. At this time, we will receive the Public Services Committee report. Vice Chairman Pickering.
We will have our next meeting. I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for that. Our next meeting will be, help me here because I'm not prepared.
Our next meeting will be the 22nd.
Next Tuesday, the 22nd, for our meeting for the Public Service Committee.
Mrs. P. Alderman, Chairman Streeting told us that it was next week, but he must have left a little bit early, maybe.
Okay.
We also do have the city treasurer's report as well. If you would you entertain a motion?
I would entertain a motion to place and file the city treasurer's report for February 2021.
Second.
Been moved by Vice Chairman Pickering and seconded by Alderman Teague. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Ludwig,
Yes.
Key,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing, Pickering,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
Mayor, if I could, the reason Alderman Streben isn't with us is he's getting ready to go on a cruise or something. He had to quarantine for 14 days after his COVID test.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. He told us that he was going on the cruise and that he wouldn't be here next time, but I think he probably didn't know at that time that he was going to have to quarantine for so long.
He just found out he had his test the end of the week last week, and he's got to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Oh man, that's tough. Okay. All right. Thank you. And then we also have the city clerk's report as well, Vice Chairman.
Okay. We have the city clerk's report.
Would you entertain a motion to?
I would entertain a motion to have the city clerk's report. I need a second.
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 It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate?
Where is that?
Pardon?
Where is the report?
It's in the packet, 12B1.
It's in the packet. It's 12B1.
Go B.
Approval of license.
The very last page of the packet.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was all the treasurer's report.
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Teague,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams, York,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
And do we have any items of information from the public service committee or the public service committee? Excuse me. I will get this straight by next week.
No, you're doing good, Mrs. P. You weren't expecting to have to be on tonight, so good job. I don't believe so, Madam Vice Chairman. Thank you for your report. At this time, we will have items of information for the good of the cause. The primary thing that I want to discuss with you before we go into actual announcements is returning to in-person meetings. As you all know, the governor had issued a declaration, an emergency declaration that allows us to have electronic meetings. That emergency declaration is set to expire on June 26th of this month. I do not know at this time whether or not he will extend it. However, it would be my summation to you that it's time for us to return to in-person meetings next month. Everyone who's had the vaccine, everyone who wishes to have the vaccine that's able to medically do so has done so on the council and with our staff. So I believe that it's time for us to return back to meeting in person. We can still social distance. We have everything set up, as you all saw, so that we can continue to social distance in the council chambers for another couple of months if need be, so we get further along in the pandemic. But unless, does anyone have any major objection to us returning to in-person meetings next month? That would be starting on July 6th. Okay, Chairman Ford.
With the new Delta variant being out there, I don't have a problem going back. I mean, I'm assuming most aldermen have been fully vaccinated, and most city staff. But I don't have a problem. I think I said a couple months ago, let's go back after Independence Day. And, everything's open at 100%. So I really don't have a problem doing that. We can be maskless if we've been fully vaccinated. We can, don't have to have social distancing if we've been fully vaccinated. So I think it's time.
Thank you, Chairman Poor. Vice Chairman O'Kane.
Well, I too am more than ready to go back. I expressed some questions to you a week ago or so. Can you address any of those as far as what we're going to do as far as electronically as the iPads and stuff like that?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that reminder, Vice Chairman, because honestly, I would have forgotten. So what we would request is when we return to in-person meetings on the July 6th, that all the aldermen arrive 20 minutes early, but prior to the meeting, so that we can do a quick tutorial on using your iPad. It will literally be pushing 2 buttons and then moving the arrow up and down on the iPad in order for you to be able to view the minutes and such. But we are asking that everyone come 20 minutes early on July 6th so that we can show you, give a brief tutorial on how to use your iPad. If it be Corporation Counsel Simon.
Just a reminder, because you'll have a quorum or more, obviously there. You will need to post this as part of your meeting notice for Open Meetings Act. It would be considered a public meeting.
That's correct. We will at the bottom there. Madam Clerk, if you could just make a note as a reminder that we need to note that at the bottom of our agenda. Thank you, Corporation Counsel, for that reminder. Vice Chairman O'Kane, did you have any other questions or comments?
Well, with this, if we have notes and stuff, we need to bring our notes on paper. We won't have any electronic, get into our, like our laptops. I can put notes on the agendas and stuff like that. 20 minutes doesn't give me much time to do that. Is there going to be restrictions in the future and stuff?
Restrictions on?
Pardon?
I'm sorry, you said, will there be any restrictions in the future?
Well, are we going to have access to this iPad before the meetings or take them home or what?
No,
I'm trying to figure.
Your iPads will stay here. Your laptops are for use at home or when you're traveling and doing city business. Your iPads will be used here.
Okay, but what about putting notes on my agenda and stuff? Do I need to be educated how to do that from home so it's on there when I get down there? I highlight agendas and stuff.
You could print it off.
What we'll do, Vice Chairman, is I will have Agno look into that, and he'll be in touch soon with you, and then with anyone else who would so desire as well, to make sure you're able to do that. But
I'll make some physical notes and bring with me. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Vice Mayor Iverson.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was up at this point, but I do have the same sort of question. Won't we be able to access our own account then from the iPad? I think that's what Mike's trying to get at. You can access what you've got from the iPad at City Hall, can't you?
Will they be able to access their email?
Yes.
Yes, you will be able to, and I'm sorry, Vice Chairman O'Kane, you will be able to access the agenda as well as your email. So if you take notes ahead of time, Vice Chairman, you could email those to yourself. That way you will have them there and you can just click on it and pull them up so that you have those to scroll on as well. Thank you, Vice Mayor. That's correct. Yes. Vice Mayor, did you have any other questions or comments?
No, I can't get my hand down.
Oh, that's okay. Alderman Teague.
Oh, I just wanted to say, given that the state has cleared for Wrigley Field to have 17,000 people present, I don't see any issue with going back to in person.
Thank you, Alderman. I concur. Alderman Patel.
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
I'm not muted. I just wanted to let everyone know ahead of time, I will not be at the July 6th meeting. I will be in Florida, and so I won't be able to make it.
Well, we will be here and we'll be jealous.
Okay. I'll bring back souvenirs.
Good, thank you, Alderman. Alderman Brown.
I just wanted to speak to Chairman Poore and Alderman Ludwig. They had inquired about the Center City Neighborhood Association meeting. I did speak with Patsy Jones, and she has talked with the church leaders as far as getting a date yet. She said she wanted, because they're still trying to come back and get a few things organized. So she said hopefully soon she'll be able, and she says probably going to be August or September.
Okay.
So I told her I would be sure to let you know at this meeting, whenever she lets me know. Now that we're looking at August or September, so you'll know when the meeting is. Like I said, generally it's the first Thursday at Central Christian Church on North Vermilion Street.
Okay,
At 7
thank
o'clock,
you.
but I'll be sure and let both of you know.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks for following up on that, Alderman Brown. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Alderman Pickering.
Yes, I had an email from a constituent that wanted to know if we are, the city, the county, or the state is having any kind of incentive to get the vaccination.
We do not have any type of incentive. I am unaware of any that the county or the state or any other level of government might offer. But the city does not have one at this time.
Do you know if any are thinking about doing that?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't even heard anything at the state level, which is where I would have presumed that we would, if there were going to be an incentive, that it would be offered, but I have not heard of such as of yet.
Okay, I will let her know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman. Alderman Wands.
Yes, I would like to take just a brief minute to thank Chief Yates. He allowed me to ride with Officer Burge for Tuesday for about 3 hours. Then I rode Saturday night from 11 p.m. till 5 a.m. And it was quite an eye-opening. And I would like to see, I understand some of us have rode before, but if you haven't rode in the last couple years, I would really think that you would want to, because my goodness, policing has changed. I hadn't rode in about 18 years, and policing has changed a great deal. And our men are out there. They know they're supported by the aldermen, and they're very grateful for that. But I think that they would like to probably show you what they do. And what they do it well. And I always have appreciated them, but I have a new appreciation for them. When you see people in dire needs of your police officers and they reach out to them and do it very well, it gives you a whole new respect. And I just wanted to say thank you to Chief Yates and all of our officers for all that they do for our community. And I really would encourage any of the aldermen that haven't rode with one of our officers to please call Chief Yates and make arrangements to do that, because they're such nice guys. I really, I don't know if you'd say enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but I don't know if exactly that's the word I'm wanting, but it was really educational, and they're very appreciative of what the city has, how the city has stood behind them, and how the aldermen the government of our city has stood behind them through the, they've gone through some rough times lately, as you all know, the whole country has, with the police departments. So thank you, Chris Yates, very much.
Thank you, Alderman Watts.
Thank you. I appreciate those comments, and I'll make sure and relay it to the officers there. I mean, they're doing the work, and they've kept a very good morale. Like I've talked to several of you guys that, with the city standing behind us and supporting us, and also keeping us in check when we need to be, and accountable. It means a lot, and it definitely shows with the officers. The morale is very high, but we just got to keep at it.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Simon.
Just a reminder for all the older persons about the use of the tablet, and for that matter, cell phones. I would strongly encourage you to refrain from texting or emailing one another during meetings. In fact, there's a case involving Champaign where council members were doing that with their own personal devices, and the PAC held that that was all subject to FOIA and violation of Open Meetings Act. So be careful about that. Also, when you're out of meetings, just a reminder that you should not be texting or emailing each other back and forth unless it involves less than a majority of a quorum, because even that constitutes a public meeting. So you got to be careful. It's very easy to do. A lot of communities fall into it, even during meetings, and I strongly recommend against it.
Thank you, Council Simon. Also, just as a reminder, whenever you receive an email, let's say from me or from one of the aldermen or from Agnell about technology, please do not reply all. Technically, that is a violation of the Open Meetings Act, and we can also be cited for that. So, if I send you something to everyone and you have a comment on it, please send it back only to me. If Agnell sends you something about IT, please reply only to him, and so on. So, just a reminder. Chairman Ford.
At Corporation Council, if we get emails on our personal accounts, we should forward them on to the city clerk so there's a record of it, correct?
Yes. I would do everything you can to discourage the use of personal devices when it comes to communicating, because all of that is subject to FOIA. So even if we get a FOIA and you forward it to the city clerk for the quote record, and somebody asks for something about what you may have forwarded from your personal device, you'll have to scroll through your personal device and pull that email or that text and send it on to whoever's answering the FOIA.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question, Mayor, for Corporation Council. Mr. Simon, now, for instance, like information for Step Up meeting, when the Step Up, that's something that's local that we use for leadership for the city of Danville. They use our email from the city. So all of my emails from Step Up, they use my email address to the city. What is that considered? Should I have to discourage them or tell them not to send it?
Well, I'm not sure what Step Up is,
okay.
But I will tell you, any email or any other communication, it could be hard copy, it could be a text that comes into the city, because it's in the custody and possession and control of the city, that information is subject to FOIA. Now, if we have an arrangement with Step Up where they could use our email system, that would all be subject to FOIA, because as public business, we're allowing them to use it. So as long as everybody knows that, hopefully when they email or text back and forth using our system, they should be aware that anything they put in an email or whatever can be subject to FOIA.
Okay, and the reason I asked that step up, and the mayor probably can, he may want to add to this, but it's a leadership organization, and I'm there as part of the representative from the city of Danville. Not that I was there by choice, but they leaders from all walks and all phases of Danville, all kind of agencies. They take part in this leadership program, and so when they started out emailing, they always used the city address, and I'm sure Mayor, they probably used to communicate with you by your city email. So I was going to, and just recently I have received some, and I thought about it because I had one that came to my personal email about a step up meeting. And I wondered then if I should say, well, should I have them send everything to my personal email, which I actually prefer, especially now that we have this technology that we have in our home, or should we be able to keep them? I just wanted some clarification on it.
I would discourage them from sending emails to your personal email, because that opens up your personal email account to FOIA, especially since you're part of the Step Up group as a representative from the city. So what you're doing is, in essence, is part of your public business of public nature. And so it's all FOIAble. Now, could they, let's say, two people within the Step Up organization that are not part of the city email each other back and forth, but not use the city email, some other email, their personal email, that's fine. They don't represent the city. They are not appointed by the city. No. But any communication which you're involved in, yes, if they are using city email to communicate among themselves, that's a gray area. But I would assume that it would be subject to FOIA, just to be on the safe and the conservative side.
Council, Step Up doesn't use our server. They are their own independent group.
Well, that's different.
They just email Alderman Brown, Alderman Pickering, and I, Alderman Teague, as a part of that group.
Okay, any emails you send out to them, the 3 or 4 of you send out to them or receive from them, subject to FOIA.
Right, of course, yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification, Corporation Counsel, and thank you, Alderman Brown, for asking.
Okay,
yes,
Mayor,
yes,
Mayor, I was going to ask you while we're on this subject, maybe one of the meetings, and I'm not sure, I think we're talking about going back into in-person for our next meeting in July. If I could ask sometime, we have our leadership meeting, if you could have a few minutes to kind of explain this to, about them sending us personal, to our personal email and things. If you could just kind of explain on our behalf of the city, so, and that they could be subject to FOIA at the same time. So would it be okay if you could speak to that at that time?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Chairman Ford.
Thank you, Mayor. And I've told groups and things, do not use my city email. If you have something to say, send it to me personally from other organizations I belong to. I know there's some aldermen don't have a personal email or it's not working, but otherwise, like the Corporation Counsel said, that's all subject to FOIA and things. And I know when we were doing the casino meetings and things, that was FOIA'd, and we had to send in all of our information, forms, and things like that. And it's better if you belong to an organization, use your own personal email instead of the city.
Chairman, Corporation Counsel.
To clarify that, if you're as part of an organization, not because of your position with the city and all, but just because that's one of the outside activities you personally enjoy, communicating about that business within that capacity is fine and would not be FOIA. But if you're dealing with any city business, then your emails, what comes in regarding city business, what goes out regarding city business from your personal device is subject to FOIA because you're acting on behalf of the city. But let's say you belong to a country club and you're on the board of the country club and you're talking about the sale of some property or repairing a building, and it's strictly country club related or service group related, VFW or whatever, that's something else. But if you're there because of your relation with city, your position as alderperson with the city, then that becomes something different.
Thank you. Alderman T.
I have a question. If someone sends you an email that is not related to city business, and so therefore you then forward it to another email address because it's not related to city business and you don't want to have that correspondence on city email, would the subsequent email exchange be subject to FOIA?
Anything that comes into both the possession, custody, or control of the city or goes out under the city. Let's say somebody sends you uses your city account because they know it, and then, well, this has nothing to do with the city, and you send it on to somebody else, a friend, let's say. What comes into the city and what goes out is subject to FOIA.
But everything after that is not.
Yeah, so if that other person sends it on to a friend, those two people are not subject to FOIA. Your email is subject to FOIA.
But only my city email would be subject to FOIA. So like if somebody sent me something and I sent it to my personal account and then we continue the exchange in my personal account, it stops, right? Or no?
Not necessarily. It depends on what the subject is. If somebody sends you something personal, because a friend, and you just pass it on to another one of your friends, that's not, assuming the content has nothing to do with city business, then it would not be subject to FOIA. But you also have to understand that the PAC is very pro requester, and they will, when there's a question or they're in a doubt, they will side with the requester. So you always should assume that anything that comes into your city account or goes out of your city email account could be FOIA. I'd make a case that it's not public business and which case, depending on what it is, if it's about, let's say, a new house somebody bought or a new outfit somebody bought, and they just know your email, I would argue that, well, that's not city business. But you do run the risk of it potentially being FOIA-able.
Okay.
Thank you, Alderman T. I do have a couple of items for you before we adjourn. I would encourage you, if you're a writer, to get your pen out. If not, get your typing fingers ready, just as a reminder of a couple of dates and times. The first one does not have anything to do with dates or times. However, I just want to say thank you to Molly and Terry Goodwin, the folks from Second Church of Christ, also the FCA, and all who were involved, every church, every individual, every person who participated and served together for Lane County this weekend. I want to thank each of you aldermen. I know several of you. I saw Alderman Teague and Alderman Pickering out serving. Thank you so much for everything that you guys did. We had over 300 individuals out all throughout Danville and Vermilion County doing things like cleaning up the litter around the blocks of Laura Lee and getting their landscaping ready. We had folks at the rescue mission painting. We had the ladies at Here It Is Salon on Vermilion Street that were doing hairstyles for folks. So I just want to say thank you for all the good people that came together to show that we care about our neighbors. That really meant a lot to the community, and it's a good witness. So I appreciate that. Now, for things that you should write or type or note in your calendar, as a reminder, this Thursday is the ribbon cutting at Carl at the Riverfront. We will leave from the parking lot in a city bus at 9:30 promptly. So Thursday at 9:30, be here before 9:30. We will, to board the bus. We will leave here at 9:30 promptly to ride over for the ribbon cutting at Carl at the riverfront. So please make sure you're ready for that.
Will we be
then-
leaving from City Hall, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Also, this Friday, we will be, of course, having some sounds again downtown. The band starts at 6 o'clock in Temple Plaza. That's every Friday through the Friday before Labor Day. So hope you'll come out and continue to enjoy some of those concerts. This Sunday is Jackie Robinson Day at Danville Dan Stadium at 2 o'clock. So hope you'll come out and catch a game. I think it's going to be a great crowd and a good game. And then the final thing that I wanted to remind you about is that our municipal band plays every Sunday night at 7 p.m. through July 11th. And they do an incredible job. I've been able to listen to them both in the park and then from my friend's house that actually just moved over on Logan Avenue. We got another younger than me person home, so that's a great thing. That's all that I have for you this evening.
Yeah, as far as the municipal band, Mayor, they said this Sunday they're going to be, if anyone likes Broadway, musical themes from Broadway, they're doing all those themes on this next Sunday.
Awesome, thank you, Mrs. Brown. Every week they have a different theme, so it's a pretty exciting thing. And then after they conclude on the 11th, then Doc Ashton and the Root Canal will play every Sunday through Labor Day weekend as well. So we will have lots of music through Labor Day. It's good, something fun to do that's free and outdoors. So, any other items of information for the good of the cause? Seeing none, I would just say thank you again for all the love that you've sent to my family and I and me. Please continue to pray for us. It's been very, very hard. So thank you for all your love and support. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Prolia,
Yes.
Williams, York.
Muted.
He's muted.
Oh, he's
Yes, sorry about that. Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Hertel,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing, Pickering,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. We are adjourned. Everyone have a great rest of the week and see you for our last, hopefully, Lord willing, our last Zoom meeting on next Tuesday for public services. July 6th, we will be back in person. Have a great night, everyone.
Good
night,
night.
everybody.
Everyone.
Good evening.
Good
Be
night.
safe.
Thanks.